Conan the Destroyer. Speaking of making out and getting bitches pregnant, Wilt Chamberlain is in this one, dude. I didn't know that either.
Bombata.
Even for the times, the final monster thing had like a vagina neck. It looked fucking weird. Welcome to List. I'm your host, Eric Prize, with me, and sometimes Boss Man. And today we're going to talk about Conan the Destroyer. Conan the Destroyer came out 2 years later in 1984, where Conan leads a ragtag group of adventurers on a quest for a princess. A little copy paste, you can say.
Not that much, but
a lot of it. You're saving the princess again. What you mean?
But no, the saving the princess in the first one, it was the last part of the movie. First part of the movie was the quest of Conan and all that shit. This was just from the start, the princess request to find that jewel. It's different.
I mean, they're finding a princess, dude. Same shit.
Yeah, I mean, princesses, they're back then, the fairy tales, they're princesses.
I get it, but there's a princess.
Doesn't mean this the same.
I get it. Okay. Suck balls in here.
This princess is prettier than the other one.
Oh, so that's why it's okay, because this princess is prettier than the other one? Well, you better fucking watch your mouth, because that actress was 14 years old and she's making out with Arnold. It's a little weird. This movie.
They're making out. Okay, go on.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of making out and getting bitches pregnant, Wilt Chamberlain is in this one, dude. I didn't know that either. Did you know I didn't know he was in this one.
Yeah, I know. But he wasn't just last minute.
Who was he supposed to be?
I don't know. But he was a last minute hire. Bombata.
Simon. It was just when I started watching and the credits started to roll and it said Wilt Chamberlain. I was like, what? Hit a Chamberlain, dog? That's weird. So for the second one, Arnold's body is still stupid. It might be even more stupid.
Yes, it's more stupid than the first one.
His body's more stupid here than the first one. That is fair to say.
He actually won again before this movie.
He won Mr. Olympia?
Yeah.
In between?
There was a controversy
some
about
bullshit.
the women, yeah, but you can tell.
You can tell already off the bat in this second one, Conan is more badass just by the beginning, because he takes out a bunch of guys by himself, which is what I wanted from the first movie. I wanted, when I said back in the first one, make sure you go back and watch it in the first review, I wanted more action, but I wanted Arnold to be more of a badass because he's portrayed to be this big guy. And I kind of get that he's becoming into a badass Conan, and I get that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see this Conan in the first one as well. But I kind of like also that there's a progression, so I'm a little tied up with that. But he takes on like a bunch of guys by himself right off the bat. Like his other compias hiding under the table, and he takes off like 5 dudes by himself.
Yeah.
Until he does.
He's most skilled by this time, you know.
Right, he's got more skills.
Let's
he's killing everybody.
From at same time like him, he's been progressing. He's been skilled. He's become king after the. No. What the fuck you talking about? He was waiting to be king.
Yes.
After the first one.
Again, I mentioned the badass imagery, and they do tease the second movie. At the end of the first one, it was like, oh yeah, he becomes a king, but there's more tales in between that there will be told, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the wardrobe. The wardrobe from the bad guys is less cool. The first one was like OG fucking warriors. This feels like back of the store clearance Spencer gift rack kind of guys. Clearance section vibes. It looked a little off. I don't know if they cheaped out on the wardrobe. It just feels a little weird.
Okay. With the other characters or Conan's?
The bad guys mainly.
Okay.
I liked everybody else. I liked everybody in his crew.
Sula and Bombata and Mako.
I think which one do you like better, the Destroyer or Barbarian?
I think the Destroyer.
I like the Destroyer way better than the Barbarian, because I'm a fucking gamer nerd, whatever. This has more of a video game feel, like an RPG, like a role-playing game, where he's building his team, and each team member has its own class and their own weaponry and their own way that they do things. And I can see why there's video games out there from Conan. I can see why, because each member of his team looks like a custom RPG character. You know, we're gonna put this lady in fucking a thong, and that's what the Zula looked like. You know, we're gonna put fucking Chamberlain with all this shit. So it just feels like a RPG video game, and I like that. Like the roles of each character they play and the world around it too is
the difference between this one and the Barbarian. The Barbarian is the rated R. They're trying to make this one more family wise, because I don't know which. First of all, it was a different director. The production wanted the idea to make it more a family movie because of the success that E.T. had at that time, you know. But how do you compare a fucking alien with Conan?
Right.
You can see there's no more. This has less gore than the Barbarian.
But it has more fighting, which is weird.
Yeah, I know, but it's less gore.
Right.
It's more like if you can take teens or even younger to see this movie, you know, because there's not that much gore than the Barbarian one.
Right, and it fucked it up ultimately because this one didn't do too well in the box office.
No.
They fucked it up completely.
Yeah,
and
that's why Arnold was detached. It was a 4-movie contract, man.
There was going to be 4 movies, but the second movie didn't do too well on the box office.
And
that's why that got fucked. But Red Sonja was released with Bridget Nielsen, which is kind of called the unofficial third movie.
But the character is not Conan.
But the character is not Conan because they didn't want to associate him with that. But it's Conan,
basically. Yeah.
Which I haven't seen that movie either, but you can confirm. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the director that was based Conan is the same creator that the character from Red Sonja.
Yeah.
Basically, the base story of Conan is they put it from that character, because the story of Conan is different.
Like they kept fucking it up. If you would have made it a third Conan and called it Conan and made it rated R with all the blood and guts,
it was gonna be called Conan the Conqueror.
Right.
Imagine that, man. Same guy with the music. His score was good.
The music is good. I like the music. Again, it's like one of the few things, but I enjoyed this one more.
It's kind of more fast paced, right?
It's more fast paced. I didn't mind the gore because there's a lot of fighting going on. There's a lot of different characters to pay attention to, and the first movie didn't do a very good job in expanding the world that they're in. And this one does. You go to the market, and then you go to this kingdom, and then this kingdom goes to the thing, and then you get to the fucking kingdom, and there's a bunch of mirrors, and red orcs come out, and the clorks. You're like, what the fuck? That room is goofy, right? And that orc had man titties, and it was weird. It was weird, but it feels more fantastical than the first one does, and I kind of enjoyed it, as cheesy as that was.
Yeah, it has more fantasy, more magic, more.
But it does hurt that they made it PG because they took out all the bone sex. They took out all of Arnold's sexy time.
The titties.
And they replaced it with laughs. They put in that one guy to be like the comedic relief.
Yeah, that stupido guy, right?
Stupido guy, which is not bad, but I think I'd rather have boning than sex. I mean, I think I'd rather have the boning than this guy trying to make fucking crack at laughs and shit. And then he kept punching animals, which is cool. But again, the same thing I said as the first one. The horses doing flippy shit. I was like, oh, don't fucking break that horse's neck, please. I just don't want to see no horses die.
Yeah, but this time he mastered the sword. You can tell from the first one.
Yeah, he kept getting better for sure. Yeah, he did good. And I was concerned about Wilt, because again, he's an athlete. He's not an actor. How is he gonna do? I was like, because he's too tall.
Yeah.
Right. So how are you gonna do Wilt Chamberlain holding an axe, fighting guys not look stupid or weird? But when he's fighting all the guys in the crypt when they're running away, I thought, hey, he's not doing too bad. I bought it. He didn't take me out of the movie at all.
No, you didn't realize he was a basketball player.
I mean, you did because he's 7'2", but it didn't look weird or out of place. It didn't look stupid. Yeah. The final monster does look really bad. Even for the times, like I gave them a pass for the snake because the snake looks cool. A final monster thing had like a vagina neck. It looked fucking weird. I was not a fan of that, but it could be again because they were trying to, like, for little kids kind of. I wasn't a fan of that. I was a fan of how he rips the fucking horn off and how they zoom and how he's like struggling. He's like, I thought that was sick. Did you know that it's under the giant inside the suit?
Andrew the Giant?
Andrew the Giant is in that suit.
Really? No, I didn't know.
This was a little bit before. I don't know if it's before or after Princess Bride. I think it's before Princess Bride, but he's in that cringy looking ass, ugly ass suit.
Fuck,
And they
man.
did the Star Wars Wizard of Oz thing at the end, where the princess awards the guy with the thing at the end, which is cool. But I was thinking about the whole time, how old is this princess? How old? And then she's kissing Arnold, and then turns out she was 14. A little weird. And she's talking about, oh, like, I want to tell Arnold I like him. And
Anytime you want to come.
that whole part with him talking, that part I wasn't crazy about talking with the little girl and about the stuff and what do you do with a man. That was a little weird. Even if it was for kids, it was off. It was weird. I didn't like that part.
Oh, when asking the lady about how she feels about a man.
Yeah, that part when they're on the horse, it's a little, next, I'm good. Did you know there was another movie supposed to happen called The Legend of Conan with Arnold was supposed to happen in 2017?
This is what's supposed to happen. It's in development right now.
Supposed to happen, but they said it, and it was going to be a movie, but now it was going to be a series, and they're shopping it around. So it's been dark for a while now. So it might be Amazon. It might be.
So it's not gonna be a movie.
No, it's going to be a series,
Oh,
but with Arnold.
okay.
So that's going to be something to keep an eye out when it does come out, if it does.
Yeah. It's too bad he couldn't do the other ones, when he was younger.
Right, they screwed it up, and then all those remakes afterwards, I'm not even going to touch them because I don't think Conan is like that much of an iconic, to me, an iconic character. Like, oh, I want to know more about Conan is no.
No, I mean, I only knew Conan by the movies. I mean, I didn't know it was a comic back when I was a child.
Yeah.
So when the Momoa would come out, I watching it. Caca.
Of course it is.
Caca.
Of course it was, because it's not Arnold.
No, you saw it?
No, but you would think that because it's not Arnold.
No, otherwise, I mean, it's not good movie. It's not. No. So if you watch this one without watching The Barbarian, you'll be okay?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to see The Barbarian to see this one.
No.
You need the backstory.
I don't. I
You
would
can
have.
see at the same time because he.
It does help you to see how he growed and how he came to be Conan.
He still heard about his hija, Valeria.
Right, which he's like, his lady did pass away, and he's all like, oh my heart, whatever. Right? But I was expecting more badassery from Conan in the first one, and I got it here.
Okay.
That coupled with the RPG aspects of the video game stuff, and it feels like a crew, and they each have their own class and all this other stuff, and they each have their own role, and they're fighting together, and they're going into cribs. The adventure was way more fun and enjoyable overall for me. I would have fixed the bad, the evil monster shit that looks terrible, and I would have added maybe a little bit more gore and toned down the stuff with the little girl. That was about it. It's iconic, whatever. If you've never seen Conan as a series, should you watch it? I mean, if you want to, but there's better Arnold stuff out there, is what I'm gonna say. Again, I did not grow up with it. I understand why you guys like it because it's super macho. The first movie, he's fucking 3 ladies in the first hour of the movie. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, the first one did better in the box office than this one.
Right. Thanks to this one, there's no Conan 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Because it ends with that same picture of him on the throne. And I was like, and you're going to see more or whatever the fuck. So it makes it feel like there's going to be another Conan. And it never showed up. Instead, you get Bridget Nielsen running around. So there would have been two more at least two more Conan movies would have been out there if it wasn't for this movie, which we liked better, but it could have been hindsight, could have been all that stuff.
I mean,
who knows?
What movie came out about that time?
I don't know.
84. That probably compete with this one.
It's not that. It didn't perform with itself. It has to compete with the first Conan, and it didn't get. I think it made. I don't remember what it was, like 20 million. It didn't make that much compared to the first one. But like I said before, we also watched the first Conan, so if you want to see our thoughts on that, there's a video right here for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Share it to your friends. Always and forever, you do you. Douche. May crime be with you. I wanted you to say it, douche.
Oh, sorry.
You fired.
Crime.
I may destroy you now.